Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
You are once again welcome to PENDREAM TV, the only channel that brings you the best and latest updates in politics. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell for more updates. Like and also share to other members to watch as well. You can also leave a comment after watching or send us a voice note on our WhatsApp number, which is 0277128777. Thank you. Today I want you to join me listening to a reaction from Sam George on Kufuor's endorsement of Bawumia, which he said nothing Kufour said will change the mind of Ghanaians, and Bawumia is still the person we know him to be. He's a corrupt person. He's an epitome of corruption and a whole lot of things he said, which I want you to join me listening to it by yourself. Thank you.
Sam George, I mean, watching this spectacle, what do you make of this? Because you've been also crisscrossing campaigning as well.
Well, when the elephant and the butterfly are fighting, the umbrella is cruising to victory. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. Bawumia is the worst thing to happen to Ghana's economy. Forget anything President Kufour says. I have respect for President Kufour, but clearly President Kufour is not being objective. And we would have taken President Kufour's words very seriously if at the time that pensioners like him, he's fortunate, the state pays all his bills. But unlike the majority of Ghanaians whose bills are not paid and whose medical bills and light bills and water bills and travel care and stuff are not taken care by the taxpayer, President Kufour has that taken care of. When people like Kama, of blessed memory, who died of a broken heart a few weeks ago because his life investment of over 40 years had been dissipated and brought to trash by the failure of Bawumia and Kufuor, President Kufour was quiet. We have not seen President Kufour speak on the hardship Ghanaians have had to face in the last 2 years because of the domestic debt exchange program. We've not heard President Kufour speak on members of his own political party, the NPP, being involved in Galamsey and destroying water for his grandchildren and children. President Kufour has been silent. So to hear President Kufour today wake up and tell us that Bawumia is the best thing to happen to Ghana since Ben's bread, I mean, we can't take it seriously. Now,
he's been a former president, so Sam George.
I haven't taken that away from him. The fact that he's been a former president doesn't...
So he has the experience and can identify who is good, who is not.
Oh, no. He's not using that. That's not the yardstick he's using. He's using NPP, elephant. Simple. And I'm saying that whether it is the elephant or the butterfly, because...
How are you calling me?
Butterfly.
Butter what?
The measure of the butterfly.
No, how can you do that?
Or the butterfly.
Fantastic.
Okay. Butterfly or elephant.
Butterfly.
Whether it's the butterfly,
elephant,
or elephant.
Umbrella.
A butterfly that has transmogrified from an elephant to the elephant itself. Look, today, they are both sitting here. And this one says Bawumia is worse. And this one says Alan is bad. Oh, Bawumia is head of economic management team. Alan Tremantin cannot divulge himself from the mess of the Bawumia Akufo-Addo government. He was part of it for 7 years. Now we are told he was head of cabinet economic team. Bawumia himself, who has admitted that he is a mate has absolutely no value when it comes to the steering of the affairs of a state. Look, we are in a critical situation where we need a level head, a trusted hand. Like Alan has asked President Kufour, what is Bawumia's track record? Look, everybody keeps talking about, oh, and Bawumia was something, what, at the Bank of Ghana. Are you telling me Polakwa was sleeping?
I don't understand.
Bawumia was not governor.
He was a deputy governor.
Wait. Bawumia was not governor. He was deputy governor. Bawumia is vice president. He's not president. Is Bawumia not telling us today that as vice president, he has not had the power to do all the magical things he needs to do? Meanwhile, you see the logic, because he was number two, he's number two. He's not had the power to do all the things he has to do. Then when you flip it to Polakwa's time, when he was number two, that one, the Polakwa was useless. It was Bawumia who was vice governor, deputy governor, who did everything. Bawumia is a man who speaks from both sides of his mouth. He's a dishonest and truthful politician.
How can you make those conclusions?
Did Bawumia not promise you a Ghana Post GPS? And you see, when God wants to kill you, he makes you mad first. Bawumia is the same person who came with the tagline, Jack, where are you? Ghana Post GPS, Jack, where is it? Is it not Bawumia who told us he launched the COVID app with Esla Owusu? What did the COVID app tracker do for us? What did he do? Look, Bawumia has been all over the place claiming all kinds of things. Bawumia is the one who promised one constituency $1 million. Bawumia, where is that money? Today we should have $8 million in Ningo Pram Pram. When you ask them, they point to an 8-seater toilet facility. 8-seater toilet facility.
Because I was just about to ask you, you know it's managed by the development authorities.
$8 million, 8-seater toilet facility. So it means one toilet is $1 million. That's Bawumia's track record. Is that an honest person to you? Bawumia is the one who stood in Cape Coast. It wasn't Kufour. It wasn't Nanado. It wasn't Alan Tremante. It was Bawumia who stood in Cape Coast and promised the people of Cape Coast an airport and a harbour. Where is it? Where is the airport? Where is the harbour? How can you take Bawumia seriously? Bawumia is not an honest man. He's a dishonest and truthful politician who must not be taken seriously at any stretch. Look, when Bawumia greets you good morning, you look up and check to see if the sun is up, because most likely the moon is up. You cannot take Bawumia. Look, Bawumia is the man who told us that when the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. He said that at the time that the exchange rate was 4 cedis to $1. Now, when the exchange rate got to 18, because the time he went to do that is media thing at PIWC, where Alan and Professor Jamboati, Bafo and Co were sitting there and laughing at him. They were laughing at him. When you watch the video,
it was just a video.
They were laughing. But it was just a video. But if they were laughing at the
you read people's gestures and then you decided to make those conclusions.
I didn't say they said. I said they laughed. Why did you not see them laughing in the video? So they were laughing at Bawumia because Bawumia was sweating like a pregnant fish under air condition after delivering a lecture. Look, what did Bawumia say? Oh yes, it's true that I said when the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rate will expose you. But it does not mean that now when the exchange rate has gotten wrong, the fundamentals are weak. Do you understand me? They started that is ugly laughter. Look, we are looking for a serious level-minded person to lead this country. And we're not interested in blame games over who has messed the economy up, whether it is Alan saying it is Bawumia or Bawumia saying it is Alan. We are interested in the fact that today, and look, you know what I do in my constituency now? I tell people, let us not even. Oh, I'm wrapping up. Why are you the timekeeper now?
I'm just calling Roland.
Are you the timekeeper now?
Kofi, you were saying. Kofi, you were saying what?
You holding his watch? Oh, well, I'm waiting. My time will continue reading. I hope it's possible.
Okay,
Good.
You have 2 minutes to end.
Thank you. Look, this same. I tell people, forget Mahama's record. Look at Nanado and Bawumia's record. When Nanado decided he's no longer running, look, a president is always active in his first term.
Understand. You haven't seen flyovers.
Wait. Let me make the point.
Inaugurated and all that.
After Nanado won his second term, he began his plan of handing over to Bawumia. So he decided to sabotage everybody in his government for Bawumia to emerge. In January 2021, the city, after Nanado had finished his first term, I'm not talking of NDCU. January 2021, after Nanado's first term, the city was 6.2 to the dollar. When they handed over free range to the mates to try run the country, we are at 17 to the dollar today. When Nanado
who handed to who?
When Nanado won his second term in 2021, a bag of cement was 35 Ghana cedis. It was 20 cedis under Mahama. Forget the first 4 years of Nanado. When Bawumia became heir apparent and took over the reins of government, it has gone to 120 Ghana cedi. So Nanado moved cedi from 4 to 6.2 when he was fully in charge. When he decided that Bawumia should start practicing to take over, Bawumia moved it from 6.2 to 17. Nanado moved cement from 20 cedis to 35 cedis. When Bawumia took over in 2021 as doing trial run as mate, he's moved it to 120 Ghana cedi. Look, Bawumia is a colossal disaster. He's a failure of what they call an economic whiz kid. When his wife said he was an economic whiz kid, she misspoke. She meant he was an economic scammer. Bawumia is a shame and a disaster. Bawumia will be studied in economics classes for the next 4 generations on how you take a healthy economy and destroy it. Ghana cannot be entrusted into the hands of such an incompetent human being.
So, George, how do we get there?
Well, let's just set the record straight. Maybe Kufour was living outside the country, so he didn't know. But let me remind you, Dumso didn't start with President Mahama.
Argue this all day.
When you were speaking,
you asked me a question.
I didn't ask you a question. I said maybe you were living outside the country. France 98 in this country under President Rawlings, we watched with power rationing. France 98, Mahama was not president. In 2006, it's not because we had excess capacity that President Kufour lined up pastors to go and pray in Akosombo for rain to fall. It's because there was Dumso. President Mahama did not have Dumso for 4 years. In 2016, there was no Dumso. It's simply because President Mahama took the bold decision to end our perennial problem of under-generation, to make sure we had enough installed and operational capacity to meet our peak demand. Today, you are talking about take or pay and saying that President Mahama saddled us with it. I mean, this is the dishonesty and insincerity on the part of the NPP. They are mirroring their flag bearer. Today, the Bridge Power Plant and at least 4 other power agreements your government has signed are all take or pay. They are all take or pay agreements. So when you say that President Mahama saddled us with excess capacity charges because of take or pay or take and pay arrangements, it's the same thing you are doing. How different are you? So you see when you sit there and you say that, and again, let's be clear, Bawumia did not say Ghanaians can travel to Ghana with a Ghana card. That's not what he said.
What did he say?
I'm reading from City Newsroom, a story on November 2nd, 2021, and I'm sure you would have the same on 3. Ghana card to be globally accepted as e-passport by 2022. You can look at my screen and see.
That was later.
It says, wait,
to me.
The Ghana card is said to be recognized as an electronic passport in 197 countries by 2022. The Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has disclosed. When I tell you Mahmoud Bawumia is a dishonest, lying politician.
Because you don't understand what you just read.
You understand me?
Because I can explain.
No.
When I tried it and I was nearly slaughtered in Dubai airport, you think it's a joke? I went and showed my Ghana card and I was really...
You are a fine gentleman. If Bawumia is sinking with his lies, don't go
there. He's within.
Stop going with him.
Gentlemen.
Can I make my point?
He's not sinking, he's rising.
Make
when Bawumia said 197 countries, in fact, they went ahead to say 44,000 airports would accept the Ghana card. You cannot use the Ghana card to travel.
As far as I'm concerned, that
you
was
cannot
amended to mean
you
that
cannot use the Ghana card
to travel
at Togo.
into Ghana.
You can't use it at Togo. You can't use it from Ghana to travel to Togo. Sky travels from Accra to Togo. You can't use Ghana card to travel from Accra to Togo. So you see, when I tell you that Bawumia is a scammer, he's a scam artist, a con artist. Look, and they can sit here and say, oh, some judge is insulting. When they said Mahama was incompetent and called him all kinds of names, that one they said they were describing him. Today, when you describe them in the very way that they are carrying out their activities, then they say, boy, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Bawumia, again, and let me use this to correct President Kufour. I want to correct President Kufour. It's not true that President Kufour was the one who brought Bawumia to the Bank of Ghana.
No, it's not true.
Bawumia was picked as a research assistant and put in a research department by Dr. Kufour.
Dr. Kufour, yes.
It wasn't President Kufour. So, you see, Bawumia's thesis for his PhD, that makes him doctor, was on the economic transformation of Ghana's economy under President Rawlings. Bawumia, and I tell you that he's a dishonest person today, turning around and talking about the NDC. You talk about interoperability. Look, again, like I said, when some judge is sitting on a platform with you, there are certain areas you must be careful when you go.
And you too, especially on the issue of the
interoperability. First and foremost,
he championed it.
Wait, like you rightly said, there was a contract in place before Bawumia came.
1.1
even
billion.
before, again, you see, that's why I said you need to be careful.
No,
that contract was at zero cost to the taxpayer. Bawumia came and paid $5 million. That contract, you see, when you are doing contracts, let me explain to you. That's my area. Let me tell you something. When you are running a contract and the contract is a BOOT, and you say that the contractor must fund the project and will get a percentage of revenue What you then do is you calculate over a timeline, the 10 years BOT lifeline. What is the value of transactions? That is what was pegged at 1.5 billion, not the value of paying the contractor. The contractor will get a percentage of that amount. It was a BOOT. You guys don't understand these things. And Bawumia runs around and lies to you, and you come and vomit those lies. But listen, before we even had interoperability, in this country, you could send Roland. You were in this country, and Momo has been running for 15 years before Bawumia even thought of becoming vice president. Yeah. Listen,
they celebrate 15 years.
Yes. And let me tell you something. Before interoperability, where the Bank of Ghana under Abdul Nashiru Ishahaku started the interoperability platform, the telcos allowed you to transfer money. You could transfer money from MTN to Vodafone using a token. Yeah. So I will transfer to you. They will give you a token. You will use the token to go to the agent and withdraw the money.
Well, he says he championed.
Championed what? Something that was already in existence before you came. What are you championing?
You're asking the relevant questions.
Then corruption.
How did he champion it?
Then corruption. He says that 3 courts in France, UK, and where? America said Mama is GO1. And what did they say about GO1? Did they say GO1 was involved in corruption? The special prosecutor that Nanado has appointed said there is nothing wrong in after engaging the FBI and the SFO of the UK. They found nothing wrong with Mahama. So identifying an individual in an investigation does not impose culpability or criminality. But when we talk about corruption, Bawumia is corrupt. Bawumia is nepotistic. Bawumia has. I'll give you the. Listen. Let me give you. Let me give you the evidence. He's asking for evidence.
Someone was able to change the agreement.
Going to conjecture. Go ahead.
Please.
Go ahead.
The three of you are shouting over each other's voice, and I think that they are descending people who are watching us. So please let's tone down and try to wrap. You have a minute to wrap up on this.
I said Bawumia is the epitome of corruption in this election.
How do you make those?
Bawumia is not just corrupt, he's nepotistic. He's appointed his brother-in-law, his father-in-law to government positions. After doing that, and tell me that that's
the appointment. That's it. Hey, does he appoint?
Can I continue?
You end.
No, but tell him to stop interjecting me.
No, it's okay.
Bawumia has taken contracts sole sourced and given to his blood brother.
Oh, how can he take the contract?
Oh,
the brother
sole sourced contract for his brother. Bawumia, he used that in his office and allowed one of his aides to use his office letterhead to go and steal somebody's imported rice. To go and distribute during Eid. Till today, that person is still in Bawumia's office. Bawumia is not just corrupt, but he steals people's rice.
Just conjecture.
You are talking over each other.
A Muslim who steals people's rice. The man stole rice to go and share for Eid.
Yeah. So, what's the latest on the human and family values issues that are in court currently?
Okay, just before I answer that, let me just read.
You are still going to account.
I just want to read ICAO because he said I don't know anything about Ghana card. ICAO is aware of recent and incorrect media reports claiming that ICAO has agreed that the Ghanaian ID card is equivalent to an e-passport. However, it is not ICAO's role to certify the use of a state's identity card for international travel in place of a passport. It is the sovereign right of each individual state to decide upon its entry and exit requirements and the documents that need to be presented by those traveling to and or from its territory. A number of states worldwide accept specified national ID cards as identity documents during air travel based on bilateral agreements between issuing and receiving states. Any decision to accept such alternative travel identity documents is made by the receiving state itself.
Taken 1 minute.
44,000 airports is a lie that Bawumia told. Now on the LGBTQ, look, it is clear that President Kufour is part of the pro-LGBTQ cabal.
What has he done?
I'll tell you. President Kufour is the one who granted an international interview and said to people, if you have enough advocacy in Ghana, you can then have LGBTQ in Ghana. A year later, they came and opened an advocacy office. When President Kufour's father sent him to Oxford, he stayed with his cousin, the son of J.B. Dankwa, called Paul Dankwa. Today, there is a book that celebrates the 100 leading figures of LGBTQ and homosexuality in the world. Paul Dankwa is in there as one of those who is celebrated. In fact, the only Ghanaian who is celebrated. As we speak today, Paul Dankwa is buried by his gay lover, Kufuor's cousin, is buried by his gay lover, a British man, in Morocco. It was in his will that he wants to be buried next to his gay lover. That is the person Kufuor stayed with in Oxford, when he went to Oxford. It is for these reasons that President Kufuor, when Kamala Harris came to Ghana in February this year and asked him about the bill, he like Pontius Pilate, he washed his hands and said, I know nothing about the bill. It is some MPB. Thankfully, Kamala Harris has been sacked from the US with her LGBTQ. And President Kufuor and Bawumia, who are afraid to speak on LGBTQ and take a position and take that stance, have contracted the Chief Justice to use the courts to delay the approval
it is public
or passing of that law.
Dr. Bawumia has publicly said that he doesn't support LGBTQ.
Has he criticized President Kufuor for not signing the bill?
But the president is president. The president says the communication coming out of the president's office is that they have taken executive notice of actions before Ghana's court as a result of that. They want those to be addressed before.
Did the same Kufuor not take notice of actions that are still pending on e-levy, yet went ahead to sign it? It tells you that Kufuor cannot be stopped by a court case when he wants to. But this one, Kufuor is the one who sent Amanda Odoy and Richard Sky to court. Because Kufuor wrote to Parliament on the 4th of March telling us that there was a court case before the courts of Ghana. The court case only went to court on the 5th of March. How did the president know a day before that there was a court case going to court? We all know the relationship between Richard Sky and the current majority leader, Afenyo Makin. So look, let me tell you, the Chief Justice herself is today acting as a cog in the wheel of justice. But like I've said to them, Mahama is a flag bearer. He has stated emphatically, the bill is my bill, keep quiet. He has stated emphatically.
Please wrap up.
It's not your bill.
He has stated
on behalf of Ghana.
He has stated emphatically.
Correct that statement.
On behalf of Ghanaians minus Kufuor and Bawumia. Because they are against the bill.
Please conclude for me so that I can go to Gusu.
In fact, they changed Chairman Sam. Let me tell you something. Part of the reason why Chairman Sam Bonsu, let me say it today. Part of the reason why they kicked Chairman Sam Bonsu out as majority leader was because Chairman Sam Bonsu supported me to pass the bill. I'm telling you.
Chairman Sam Bonsu told you that?
I'm telling you, we're in Parliament. We know what's going on in Parliament. Because the president came to Parliament on the 26th of February. Look, and I'm giving you dates. 26th of February. And when he came, when he met leadership, he pleaded with them not to pass the bill. And 2 days later, we showed him that we are not a rubber stamp parliament. We passed the bill. And because Che Mensah was instrumental, Che stood on his feet for 2 days, 8 hours each day to help us pass that bill. They kicked him out.
So now the cases will be called, we have 18th, right?
The Chief Justice is trying to delay for Kufuor to leave so he doesn't sign. Our children and their children will remember Kufuor as the man who lied to God that he will build him a cathedral. Meanwhile, he loves gay people and is supporting homosexuality and is against our culture. That is Kufuor's track record.
You cannot make those. The president has said that the president says that if there is a clarion call and the mass of public opinion, that's what he made internationally, and then says that personally he doesn't.
You don't work in an airport. You work in a consulate. The travel is at the airport. Stop saying you work there. I mean, when you were coming from America, did you come with a Ghana card? When you were coming from America, did you come with a Ghana card?
You had allowed me to
say has never traveled to Ghana with a Ghana card.
He's an American in Ghana telling us what we Ghanaians must do.
Who to America? What are you talking about? Ask him when he traveled to Ghana with a Ghana card. All the times he's come from America, he's come with a passport. He's come with a service passport.
I even doubt whether he has any Ghanaian passport.
No, he has a service passport.
Service passport.
Yes. American is very diplomatic.
Good morning to you.
There isn't a diplomatic passport.
This one.
Let's be very clear about one thing. President Mahama is here to make free SHS better because he conceptualized it and started it in 2015. President Mahama will do 4 things. We're very specific. 4 things to make free SHS better. First and foremost, we're going to complete our our e-blocks to make sure that we abolish the double track system. Secondly, we're also going to introduce the free SHS into the private secondary senior high schools to ensure that we take advantage of the available classrooms and learning facilities in there, once again to make sure that we end the double track system. Thirdly, we're going to break the stealing cabal that is in Accra that has centralized the purchase of food and is buying gogomi infested rice and sending to our children. We will make sure that we decentralize the purchase of food to the heads of schools so that they can make sure that our children get wholesome food. Fourth, we're going to hold a conference.
Sam, there's no gogomi infested rice, that is.
Who told you?
Are you talking about the Mushosho scandal?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
Thank God you know what it is. And then the fourth one is that we're going to hold a conference that's going to bring parents, teachers, students, and government to build a sustainable model and roadmap for free SHS. Mahama is here to end the double track. Mahama is here to end parents having to pay for extra classes. Mahama is here to end the poor food that's given to our children. Mahama is not going to end free SHS. It's going to make it better.
Today? Where are you going?
Today I'll be in the Sojaman constituency. I'm going to be there to support my brother Thomas Ampim. On Sunday when Somanya was fire. Saturday I was in Asawasi. That was another, was something else in the Sojaman.
Yes, he's a
should look out for
parliamentary candidate. That's
Pius. Oh, you mean the visa contractor? The visa conman who uses government.
Isaac Hughes from Takoradi. Thank you for your messages. Sam George will always give you a shoulder. And then also, I have this one from Papa Yenzu Kwesi Team. Respectfully, tell Mr. Ameao that. All right. And then we have a couple more. For those who have joined us on our stream, we're grateful. Please make sure that also you live. I have a couple more. It says. Opata says
the OSP called Nanado the mother serpent of corruption.
At the same OSP, he said Mama was so corrupt that he would take
Cecil Mensah, good morning. I've taken notice of. He said the president has appointed a new minister 17 days to election. I'm not too sure about that. And then also Hesse Freeman, thank you for your message as well. For the others as well, I can see Ebenezer, who also has sent us Hesse Freeman and Junior Kobe, and says Xilis Dwayne watching us from the UK, and Nelson
when he's coming back together, I shouldn't try to use his card.
All right, so let me also tell you about how you can have a good beachy tiding and sandy joy this Christmas. You can do that by booking 2 nights and getting the 3rd night free with all meals inclusive, starting from 6,000 Ghana cedis for a couple. Package offered include free access to all in-house facilities, including swimming pools, and that's when you visit the facilities for Maha Beach Resort, gym available, cinema, popcorn, snooker games. Yes, Maha.
Fantastic place.
Fantastic
and it will
place.
be a place to go and celebrate the victory of John Mahama.
No. Allah will
Please move up. So they also have snooker games and entertainment.
We once again say thank you for your time on the channel. Please, if you're a new member and you have not yet subscribed, please do so for us. Hit the notification bell for more updates. Like and also share to other friends of yours on other platforms like your WhatsApp channel. Thank you.
PENDREAM TV now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.